What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to Philly with John Marks on PHLY. Happy Friday to everybody out there. Happy Memorial Day weekend Friday, as I just discovered a couple minutes ago. We're live in studio for what it feels like the first time in weeks. And as always, Philly with John Marks, sponsored by BetParx. Get on over to the BetParx app. Big show today. Pat Egan joins us earlier in the show to discuss the Phillies. Violations, Greg, a little bit later on. We'll discuss whatever with him. As I don't even know what Tyler said, but I was like, oh, that's right. It's Memorial Day weekend. Monday is Memorial Day. Normally you wait and like it builds up and it's like, oh, finally, whether you're going down the shore, you have barbecues, or the weather's been so crappy, it just doesn't feel like Memorial Day weekend, but it is here. On the way to Cape May. Do you know, Tyler Zuli's with me here live in the studio this morning. Do you know On the Way to Cape May?
I do.
Of course, Al Alberts, the late great Al Alberts was, I believe he's the one that wrote it. That's who I remember singing it. Can you sing On the Way to Cape May? Do you know the lyrics to it?
I do. I'm not going to, but I do know. Well, so like I was telling you before the show, I grew up going to Cape May.
Right.
So it was like something that we used to listen to like on the ride down from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it, but I can, yes.
You look so very pretty when we met in Ocean City, like someone oh so easy to adore. I sang this little ditty on our way through Ocean City, heading south along the Jersey Shore. On the way to Cape May. See, I'll sing it. We'll see if Violations Greg will sing it. I'm sure he knows On the Way to Cape May. So, did you ever watch Al Alberts Showcase? You're probably too young for Al Alberts
Showcase. No, that I have
Showcase.
not seen, no.
So back when TV was terrible and you didn't have a lot of choices, I think it was Saturday or Sunday morning, there was Al Alberts Showcase. And it was like, not an American Idol, but he would bring on these little kids, younger people. I think it was just younger kids. And it was like a variety show and they would sing. And Al was like this old, nice gentleman that would, oh, that's so great. That's so great. So you would get like little Bernadette, who's 7 years old from Northeast Philly, singing On the Way to Cape May with Al on Al Alberts Showcase. And then Larry Ferrari would be on after that. Larry Ferrari was like an organist, and he had a show on Channel 6. This was on Channel 6, by the way. I think it was Sunday mornings when I was growing up. And then there was... it's the prime time of my life, but that was on at night. Doing all the ba 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 do. Anyway, yes, it's I'm an Ocean City person. By the way, I've spent plenty of time in ALLCITY and in Avalon. I guess I spent time there. Wildwood. Some people like Wildwood. I did not go to Wildwood growing up. We've been down to the boardwalk many times. Wildwood Crest, wherever you go, if you're headed down the shore, good luck, because the weather's not going to be nice. But it is supposed to be sunny and 76, at least up where I am, on Monday, because our pool opens. Nine Oaks pool opens. So the water will be cold, but the weather will be nice. So I will probably be at the pool on Monday. All right, well, listen, if the Phillies could play the Rockies 162 games a season, they may go 158-4. They're not going to win them all, but they would probably lose 4 games. The team is rolling right now, and I don't take anything more other than they're winning the games that they're supposed to win. Their starting pitching has been excellent. Ranger Suarez was excellent again yesterday. Taijuan Walker has stepped right into the 5th starter spot. We'll talk to Pat about it coming up here in a second, but really, I don't know if the offense is going to be fine in October. I don't know what this offense is going to look like in September. Not going to matter because they're going to be there. Bryce Harper has gotten hot. In the course of a week, he raised his average 40 points. It's actually up to 275 now. So he was 236. He entered yesterday at 276. So it went up 40 points in a week. So everybody that was worried about Bryce Harper, we said it right here on the show. I looked right into the camera and I said, the least of my concerns is Bryce Harper. He will get going. He'll get hot. And he got hot. So you have a slugger in Kyle Schwarber. You have Bryce Harper. Trey Turner's hitting over 300 BTW, by the way. I like Stott at the top of the lineup. The lineup looks like it has in previous years. It looks good. They're going to win a lot of games. Their starting pitching this year is really, really what's carried them. And not enough is being talked about with Jesus Luzardo. I'm sure Tyler on the Philly show has talked about it much, much more than the average Phillies person. But he has been unbelievable. He just has. He's been tremendous. And for all the bitching we'll have about Dave Dombrowski, and he deserves his fair share of criticism, Tyler, getting Luzardo for a low, not a good prospect, but a guy that's so young and at lower levels. Who the hell knows what's going to happen with him? And who cares, quite frankly? Because Luzardo, what he's doing is historic. Coming into Philadelphia and he's doing what he's doing right now.
Yeah, how about this one? You said we talked about it on Wednesday. Jesus Luzardo becomes the second left-handed pitcher, starting pitcher ever, to be undefeated through his first 10 starts of a season, also to have a sub-2 ERA, also to have a better than 10 strikeout per 9 ratio in those starts. There's only one other guy in history.
Pop yourself up there so we can...
There's only one other guy in history that has done that. As a left-handed starter. And it was 1995. Randy Johnson did it for the Seattle Mariners. Randy Johnson ended up going 18-2 with a 2.48 ERA and won the Cy Young, striking out almost 300. I don't think Jesus Luzardo is going to strike out 300, but I mean, you're talking about being in the breath of historic greatness through his first 10 starts. That's how good he's been.
Man, and when you pair him, it's not even pairing him, but when you put him in the rotation, Chris... We came in this season, obviously we were excited about Luzardo, but Chris Sanchez, this guy, he was an all-star last year. Not enough people are talking about him. He's been exactly what you needed him to be. He's been all-star, probably not. All-star level? Yeah, right around there. He's been really, really good. And now you have a numbers issue when Aaron Nola is ready to come back. They'll throw Taijuan Walker right back in the bullpen. But going forward with this rotation, you have a lot of arms that should be a starter. So it'll be interesting to see how the Phillies handle this going forward. But Ranger Suarez, he was good again yesterday. Phillies rolling 32-18. So, and I was right there with everybody. They were 500 not long ago. Now they hold a 2-game lead over the Mets. They have the best record, the most wins in the National League. Only the Tigers have more wins in all of baseball. As this portion of the program brought to you by GLAT Hair Restoration, GLATHairMM.com. You can text them with any questions. Text them a picture of your hair. Take a picture of my hair. Text them a picture. Say, I want my hair to look like that. 610-980-4000. 610-980-4000. As, no, I don't think he didn't pitch yesterday, but I know bullpen stalwart, and I'm in his hive, looked good the day before. As Pat Egan joins us right now. You can read all of his stuff on allphly.com. He's kind of like the insider on prospects for the Phillies. But yeah, he obviously knows a lot about the Phillies. But yeah, he's like our prospect expert. What's up, Pat? How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Uh-oh. Pat, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I got you.
We can't hear you, unfortunately.
You know what I mean? Wait.
So unmute it.
Yeah, no.
We had this issue, John, last week. Give me 1 second. I can hear him, but
I can't.
And everybody else can hear him, but you can't. Yeah, give me 1 second. We're gonna figure it out.
Well, whatever. So we're talking about Joe Ross because I'm the queen bee in the Joe Ross hive, and I'm not afraid to admit it. So there you go. And Pat Egan he's the biggest adversary. What would be like global warming and everything else that goes against our ecosystem? Because really, like they say with bees, like when you start seeing the honeybees when they're disappearing and they're dying out, that's terrible. And being that I'm the queen bee of the Joe Ross hive, he's not going anywhere, and he has been absolutely tremendous. And you look at the Phillies' schedule going forward. All right, we'll try Pat again. Pat Egan, allphly.com. Can you hear me now? Hello.
He's been tremendous.
He has been tremendous. He went 2 innings and with 3 strikeouts. His ERA is back down close to 4.
Can't take it away from them. That's what they need.
22 pitches, 18 strikes. By the way, when's Carlos Hernandez going to get? When are they just going to designate him for assignment? I can't take seeing him out there anymore.
I don't know, John. His ERA is only close to 7. Yeah, I don't get it. I really I understand that every single bullpen, whether you win the World Series or not, has this kind of guy in it, has a guy that is just brutal. In 08, they had Danny Baez, who was atrocious. But this is really, really bad. You can't tell me that they have nobody in AAA who's better than Carlos Hernandez, who seems to give up a run every time he comes in.
Well, they do, and they know that they do, but they see, what guys down in the minors maybe don't have, which is a 98-mile-an-hour fastball and real stuff. So they're trying to develop him on the fly, and at some point they're going to say, all right, we're over this experiment. We'll try to get him through waivers, and we'll designate him for assignment. And if he gets picked up, he gets picked up. If he doesn't, we put him down in AAA, and we try to work him out there. All right, so we just talked about the Phillies now have 32 wins. They've been on a roll here. They've also beat up on really bad teams. And listen, you're supposed to beat these teams. And you're not supposed to win every game against these teams. The Phillies are beating them in every game. So does this change the way or how you feel about this team? Because for me, it doesn't change anything for me. The starting pitching was going to win this team 90 games, period. And their starting pitching is not only is it good, it's deep. Now you have 2 guys in the minors that can come up and can start and probably be better than your 5th starter. More on that in a second. But you look at this as much as you can because we're still in May. We still have over a week to go in May. But from what you were thinking maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago to now, how do you feel about the team?
Pretty much the same as you. I think we're both in lockstep. It's such a long season that you're going to have stretches like this where your team just looks unbeatable. And yeah, you have to look at the opponent. If they had lost one game to the Rockies, we'd be sitting here going, all right, how good are they? Because they lost one game to what is trending to be the historically the worst team in baseball history, probably next to the 1860 something Cleveland Spiders. So, but they don't. I mean, they continue to roll on and win, and that's what you kind of expect. I'm not getting pumped about them being in first place or having the best record in the National League right now because, as you said, it's May. But they're winning the games that you're supposed to win. It's going to be interesting to see what happens though when they end up playing the better teams. What I'm more encouraged about is they're doing it in multifacets. They're coming back in games. They're winning games via the long ball, and then they're winning games via small ball. They're not living and dying with one way to win a game. They're finding multiple ways, and I think that that's encouraging.
Yeah, so they sweep the Rays. They take 2 or 3 against Cleveland. Cleveland's a good team. They lose the series against St. Louis, and then sweep the Pirates, and a 4-game sweep against Colorado, man. 4-game sweep is legit, and they are horrible. The Rockies are bad. Now you have Athletics, 3 at the A's in Sacramento, and then you come back home against the Braves, Milwaukee, Toronto, and then you're at Pittsburgh. So, this was your stretch. And a lot of people talked about it at the beginning of the month, which was, well, this is the month the Phillies can make up some ground. And they did. So, listen, we'll see. They're going to win a lot of games just based on their talent and their payroll and their starting pitching. Let me ask you this, because when you look so far right now, they have 32 wins. So Washington, 2 or 3. Colorado, sweep 3. And it's not like they haven't beat good teams in series, but when you look at a lot of these teams, 2 or 3 against the Marlins. We just met 2 or 3 against Washington. And then they sweep, and then they sweep, and then they sweep. I'm ready for the tough series because if they lose 2 or 3 to Toronto, if they lose 2 or 3 to Chicago, if they lose 2 or 3 to the Braves, everybody's going to be freaking out again. So now everything's great, and this is what's great about a baseball season in Philadelphia. We treat it like it's football. That it's man, we live and die with these series. So if they lose a series, it's oh my God, Rob Thompson, they should fire him, right? So I'm enjoying it, but I'm still a little bit concerned about the offense and what we've seen the last couple of years.
I mean, I think for a lot of Phillies fans, I think it's going to be a wait and see mode. I think a lot of people are going into these series going like, okay, well, you're supposed to win. Let's see what they do against the Mets. And you're right. If they end up going and playing the Mets, I don't know when the next series is, and they end up losing 2 of 3, it doesn't really matter who pitches in those series. It doesn't matter how close the games are. You're going to have Phillies fans going like, see, I told you they're just not very good. And it's not true. I mean, they're a good baseball team. It's just a matter of like, I think so many Phillies fans right now go, that's a better team than this one. Doesn't really matter about the record currently. You just look at rosters and people look at how it ended last year. People look at the Juan Soto acquisition and they go, all right, well, if we can't beat them, then what does it matter? And we all know that in baseball, it's really about the hot team in October. Last year, the Mets were the hot team. The Phillies were the hot team in 2022. Like, you know, the Diamondbacks were that in 2023. So, you know, I'm cautiously optimistic. Like Jesus Luzardo, you guys were talking about before, has been a revelation. I don't think anyone expected him to be this good. Hell, if you know, the Marlins did, they wouldn't have traded him. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. Like, I mean, I don't know how you complain about what we're watching as a Phillies fan. And if anyone is, then yeah, they probably are treating it like it's football season.
The Mets is the weekend series in June at Citizens Bank Park, June 20th, the 21st, the 22nd. All nationally televised games, including the Apple TV game, which I won't be able to see on Friday night. But then you have Fox on Saturday night and then ESPN on Sunday night. And like,
why don't you just get Apple TV?
No, I'm good.
Is it a principal thing or is it like
I just don't need to buy. I don't need another subscription. I can listen to the game on the radio. I can watch the YouTube highlights afterwards. Like, I don't need Apple TV Plus. I don't need any more subscriptions. I don't even want cable. I want nothing. I don't watch anything other than sports and some of my shows that I DVR.
Yeah, you got Cops.
I'm done with Cops.
Wow.
No, I've watched every episode. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I've literally watched every episode. So many times. They haven't come out with new ones recently, and I can't do it anymore. It's like Seinfeld. I used to watch Seinfeld in reruns every night for years, and I just reached a point where I'm like, I just can't watch it anymore. I can't. Like, I just seen every episode too many times. I can't watch it anymore.
This is the bigger storyline of the day than anything else. Is John Marks turning his back on Cops, the TV show, not like actual Cops.
Yeah, well, if the new episodes come out.
You'll be right back.
I'll be right back. What was I gonna ask you about? Obviously Aaron Nola goes on. He goes on the IL. Is he out for a week, 2 weeks? What do they decide to do? It's got to be longer than the week, but you know what I mean, right? Taijuan Walker slides right in. My question is, all right, let's fast forward. Ranger Suarez isn't going to be here next year, right? They're going to let him leave free agency. I doubt they trade him at the trade deadline. You're trying to win this year.
I don't know why they would.
Well, a lot of people are going to say you should because of your abundance of starting pitching and you can get a bullpen arm. I'll stick him in the bullpen in the playoffs and I'll feel pretty confident in that. But all right, so you know, it's clear why Aaron Nola's contract is bad, because if he's your fifth best starter, and he's not really your fifth best starter, but he's going to be your fifth starter, that's not a guy you should be paying $25 million a year. But all right, Mick Abel showed that he absolutely deserves a shot at being a full-time starter with the big club. Andrew Painter is going to be, at least we think he is, a full-time starter later this year. Maybe it's going to be next year at this point. I don't know. Like, it's a numbers game now. So who's getting moved, or what are they doing next year? And I know it's next year, but it's interesting to look ahead. What do they do next year? He's got to be in AAA because Aaron Nola's on the team. See, that's the problem, is you have too many starters and you're paying this guy $25 million a year that has the worst stuff on your roster.
Yeah, I keep laughing every time I see the tweets that say, like, sign Kyle Schwarber, because it's coming from the same people that couldn't wait to laud and applaud the Aaron Nola contract. That's what's keeping them from signing Kyle Schwarber, is the Aaron Nola contract, because they probably would be getting that amount of money. And when you look at the starting rotation, it didn't make sense to me then because of this factor. Now, you didn't know that Mick Abel was going to have the season that he's having in AAA, which is like, he is the ace of the best team in the International League. But I don't think Mick Abel's going to be here next year. Like, I'd be blown away if he's here in August.
Trade bait.
Yeah, I think come July 30th, he's gone. And I'd be kind of surprised if we see him again in Philly, barring an injury, because of the fact that that was such a good start. And I don't think any of us would be surprised if the next start out, that's when the command issues arise. And that was the kind of the bugaboo on him his entire career, is like, he's got the stuff, he's got the look, he's got the makeup, his command is an issue. He's fixed it this year, but this is the big leagues we're talking about. Nerves are eventually going to get to you. I don't think anyone would be surprised if he goes out there, barring, doesn't matter the opponent, and would just struggle a little bit, because that's what rookies do. So I would assume that the Phillies are probably content with keeping him in AAA until the deadline and using him, and then the 40th ranked prospect in their system to get either a legit left fielder and a bullpen arm, or a really good bullpen arm, or a few, and then Painter would slide into Ranger Suarez's spot next season.
Talk about you always want to sell high and not low. You're not going to sell higher than right now after that start that he had in the year he's having in AAA. So if you believe that, listen, also you better be getting something good back. He's a former first-round draft pick. It's not like that. It's not like you're trading a guy that emerged that was a fifth-round draft pick. No, he was a first-round draft pick that this year finally put it together. Last year, people were talking about it as a throw-in in a trade. We'll trade him. Yeah, your fourth guy that you're throwing in there, give him Abel. I wasn't that far off from thinking the same thing. I thought maybe you're going to have to move him to the bullpen, that he wouldn't have the command. He walks too many guys. And by the way, he might come up to the majors as a starter and not be very good. It is very possible. So I guess if you look at it from that standpoint, and Dave Dombrowski's trying to win a World Series now, you're right. Abel's probably getting dished because he doesn't have a spot in the big leagues as a starter next year.
He really doesn't. But you said it perfectly. You need to get something good. And, it's funny. Nobody really batted an eye when the Phillies traded Logan O'Hoppe for Brandon Marsh, because it was okay, well, you got JT Realmuto, and O'Hoppe's in, I think, AA at that point. And yeah, he's really good, but hey, we're getting a former top prospect back in Brandon Marsh. Now it looks horrible because Logan O'Hoppe has 14 home runs and he's one of the better hitting catchers in baseball. And JT Realmuto is kind of a shell of what he used to be. You better nail it. I don't want to see Carlos Estevez out there. I don't want to see Austin Hayes. And if you're going to trade this kid, which you might as well at this point, because you don't have a spot for him, because you locked up pretty much your entire rotation, including Aaron Nola, who's your fifth starter at this point, then you better get something good for him. You better get and I don't want to see a Luis Robar at this point, because this is the second year in a row that he's hitting 200. I need to see a legit left fielder out there. And it just seems like it's the same story with the Phillies every year. Does it not? You go into the deadline and it's okay, we need a left fielder and we need a bullpen arm. And that's on Dombrowski. The fact that he can't figure this out is on him.
Well, what's on Dombrowski is he hasn't done it, because it's not unusual at the trade deadline to need a bullpen arm or to need an outfielder, right?
Yeah, you're right.
You can also you can almost go into the season and say either it works itself out or we make the moves at the trade deadline. The problem is, look at Pat Gillick. He improved the team at the trade deadline every single year. Look at the moves that he made in the margins, like Matt Stairs. He'll live in infamy in this city. Joe Blanton was acquired at the trade deadline before, not the year they went to the World Series, but years before. Jamie Moyer was acquired at the trade deadline.
He made better moves in the August trade deadline.
He sure did.
Jamie Moyer was 06 for two middling prospects that I think only I could probably name, and Matt Stairs was Fabio Castro in August. And yeah, he crushed it. He made all these little minor moves, and Dombrowski's yet to really do that. He's tried to get too cute with it, with let's go get Noah Syndergaard and let's get Austin Hayes, and none of them have worked. None of them. And you need to nail it. And the fact that this organization is still looking for a lefty reliever after the suspension of Jose Alvarado is very surprising to me. They have no one in AAA that they can call up. They have one lefty out of the bullpen in AAA, and he sucks. This is on Dumb, and I don't want to bash him too much because he did make the Luzardo move, and that was incredible. But it's moments like this where you do have appreciation for a Pat Gillick, who did set them up to be okay, I'm going to have a contingency plan, and a contingency plan for the contingency plan. Doesn't seem like Dombrowski really has that.
All right, but Pat, you don't look like a big shore guy. I can't imagine you wearing sandals and flip-flops headed down the shore. True?
No, I mean, my two favorite places are a movie theater and a hockey rink, and the sun doesn't really reach either.
Yeah, two places they're probably the last two places you'll ever find me is a hockey rink and a movie theater.
You like this alabaster skin, right? Like I just fry up.
Well, you go to the adult movie theater often.
Yeah, the Forum.
The Forum, yes.
That's right.
As we talked about. It's no
Harry
longer
Peter in the Chamber of Sequins, airing now.
All right. Get out of here. Have a good weekend, buddy.
All right, you too.
All right, there he is. Egan, Pat Egan. You can read all his stuff, allphly.com. He covers the Phillies and Phillies prospects for us. And follow him on social media, too. He's been doing a sports podcast that's very good. All right, Violations. Greg's going to join us coming up here in a second. Live in studio! Don't go anywhere. Philly with John Marks, PHLY. Why? All right. So, new sponsor. We haven't talked about these guys, or at least I haven't on the program before. And it is Monarch. That's right. Finances can be messy and confusing. Monarch Money acts like your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control so you can stop earning and start growing. And it's more than your average budgeting app. Monarch Money is a complete financial command center for your accounts, investments, and goals. Don't just manage your money. Start building wealth with 50% off your first year just for our listeners. That's right. Start managing your finances to build the life you actually want. Monarch makes managing money simple even for busy lives. So, with all your accounts, credit cards, and investments in one place, you'll always know where your money stands without the hassle. Track your spending, savings, and investments effortlessly so you can focus on what matters most. Monarch Money is the financial tool people actually love. Named Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025, the top recommended personal finance app by users and experts with over 30,000 five-star reviews. Just do what look up the reviews. That's all you have to do. I do the same thing. Because you know what? The reviews normally don't lie. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code PHLY at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code PHLY. Why? All right, BetParx. So check it out. We know our team, our baseball team's in Sacramento tonight, 10 p.m. So for everybody that loves the late games, I'll be asleep probably for most of them. But Pro Hoops back tonight. Can New York rebound for Game 2? They're 6-point favorites tonight. Zach Wheeler's pitching for Philly. Live bet Philadelphia baseball. Bet on who will hit home runs, pitchers' numbers, strikeouts, and more. Individual player performances in Pro Hoops. Points, assists, rebounds. Live bet. Wager and watch. Live betting's better on the BetParx online sportsbook and casino app. But, maybe if your team isn't winning or you say, hey, you know what, I want to do something else. How about this? Live dealer, blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, and hot online slots like Violations Greg. His marriage is in trouble because he is so hooked on hot online slots. All right, that's not true. But anyway, new users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Go to betparx.com, download the app right now. Enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. You must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play. You play to win. You bet BetParx gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hoo-ah! Ha-ha-ha-ha! Hoo-ah! As we're back, and I haven't seen this guy in a couple of weeks because he was on vacation in Salt Lake City.
That's not really why. I was here last week. You guys were not. I didn't get the memo.
Well, neither did we.
The night before, you're like, come on in. I was like, I showed up. I was like, nobody's here.
Wasn't the night before.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't. I knew the night before I wasn't doing it. It was.
You didn't tell me.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't tell you.
Yeah. You look good today, man. You're like, those are nice trouser pants. They look comfortable.
There.
Yeah, you're all matching out with the blue. I like it.
I worked out this morning.
All right. This is your workout gear?
No.
Oh, I was just
I changed it to it. No, that's over there. I sweat through everything. Yeah. No, because...
What's ROFO stand for?
Royersford.
Yeah, represent. Royersford in the house.
ROFO. Not ROCO like Robert Covington. ROFO.
I think I go, why not Ro-Yo? I think that, you just The Y is unusual.
Listen, man,
I would embrace the Y.
I moved to Collegeville 12 years ago. I didn't come up with. I didn't come up with.
Yeah, you look good. You look very Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina blue.
Shoes match and all.
Yeah, well, let's.
A job interview or something after this?
I do not have a job.
Good, man. Coordinated.
No, I'm. But like, listen, if you're gonna wear casual wear and it's a Memorial Day Friday, you got to try to look good. I've got my Mack Weldon pants on. Got the.
Yeah, they look good. They look like good travel pants. Like
comfortable
on a plane, they'd be comfortable.
Oh, good plane pants. See, you know about a plane pant. You can't wear jeans in a plane.
No. And the joggers I like, but now they make so many good stretch, comfy pants for guys. You just got to go with the travel pants.
So when I fly, I don't know if like a lot of people drink before flying. Like they'll go to Chickies and Pete's and they're drinking in the bar or whatever. I take Dramamine, and
you just zonk out.
And I'm asleep before we take off. Like I can't wait. It's window seat. Leave me alone. Don't bring me a drink. Don't talk to me. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. Well, you're not a larger man, so
no, I'm comfortable on planes.
Yeah,
I don't have to worry about it.
I can't. I have to be the aisle. I got to put my legs out in the aisle.
I couldn't imagine being a larger person on a plane. It'd be very.
It's a disaster. Yeah.
Unless you get first.
You gotta rack up. Like I use my credit card for everything, so I get free upgrades to the exit row.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So when I flew last week, I had the exit row coming home.
Yeah.
And so I was flying Frontier, and they have 2 seats on the one end, and there was like no third window seat in the exit row. So I bought the one closest. I had all the room on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
And then nobody booked a seat to my right.
Oh,
I had the full exit row to myself. It was
dude,
amazing.
That's like living like a king.
I like stretched out. I had it was great.
But they always scare you with the exit rows. Like, are you sure? Can you handle this? Do they
Yeah,
ask you the
it's too
questions?
much pressure.
Well, and here's the thing too. Am I sure? I don't know. I've never been in that scenario before. Like how?
Right.
I
So if
guess.
the plane's going down, you want me to do something about it? Like, sure. Yeah. Knock yourself out.
Dude,
I've
I've lost all guilt. I took a plane trip to West Palm Beach. You know what the demographics are of that. I look at the exit row. There's like 3 people. They're like in their 80s.
Yeah, they're not
like,
saying
all right,
anybody.
if they can handle the exit row, I'm sure I got this under control.
All right. Well, there you have it. Your Philadelphia Phillies, VG.
Looking good.
Man, looking
it's
great.
The Rockies, but you got to take it with a grain of salt. But
still,
good.
to win 7 out of 7 games against a team, and I know they're historically bad.
Yeah.
They still won 7 out of 7 against them. They swept the Pirates. They swept you swept Tampa.
Taking care of the bad teams.
Take care of bad teams, which you're going to win 90 games. You're going to win 90 plus games doing what they're doing right now.
A's are coming up. A's started out hot, but they've been dragging a little bit lately.
This is a 2 of 3.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'd be happy with 2 or 3. It's a good road trip.
It's it's an excellent road trip, and then like they'll start facing some legitimate teams.
It's been what they needed. Like Marsh came back, getting a little confidence. Playing.
Marsh has looked better.
He's been really well batting, but just getting confidence. Everyone's getting confidence on this road trip.
All right, so I got to ask you, since you and Anthony were wagging your finger at me regarding Aaron Nola a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
he's
injured, man. I mean, he'll be good as new when he comes back. Like, you know how hard it is
you
to
can't
pitch
even say
with
with
a
a straight
bad
face.
ankle? With a bad ankle, you know how hard it is to push off and pitch. Tyler knows he's a baseball guy. You can't pitch with a bad ankle.
You can't even say it with a straight face.
You can't pitch with a bad ankle. Let's see when he's healthy.
He's he's ultimately going to be like, he's going to look more like the Aaron Nola we've seen before than the Aaron Nola we've seen so far this year.
Right.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Do you realize this contract sucks now? I mean, does everybody now realize that you don't pay your fifth starter $25 million a year for five years after the season?
That's a big jump. You're extrapolating that because he's had a bad 2 months, he's going to just suck for the next 7 years.
So you think his stuff's going to get better with age?
I don't think it's going to get better. I think it'll remain what it is. And he's a good location pitcher. That's the thing about a guy like him. If
he's a good location
He's not
pitcher.
a big arm, so you don't have to worry about his velocity going. He's never been a velocity guy, so he can pitch still. He's like Jamie Moyer. He can pitch still. He's like 47.
No, he can't.
Yeah, you'll see.
No, he can't because he's right-handed.
You'll see.
Why
can't you pitch right-handed for a long time?
Well, because left-handers typically are able to pitch longer into their careers because they're deceptive against other left-handers. And now that you have to pitch to 3 batters, it's a little bit more difficult. But all right, so Greg Maddux is the closest thing to a Jamie Moyer. He pitched deep into his career without having velocity. You can't pitch 84 miles an hour and be a right-handed pitcher. I mean, I don't think you do it left-handed.
He's at
either.
93 right now. I mean, 84 is a big jump from.
No, but
93.
I'm saying like Jamie Moyer was pitching 84 miles an hour.
Yeah.
If that. That was his fastball.
Yes.
And the third time through the lineup for you to get him the hell out of there, Jamie Moyer.
All right, so
But it was tough. Same thing with Aaron Nola.
So 12 years into this contract, he'll give us 5 good innings. I'm good with that. And by the time that contract ends, the end of it, it'll be pittance.
Well, the Phillies he'll be. See, the problem is it's untradeable unless you're eating a ton of money.
Who's looking to trade him?
I'm like,
why would you want to trade him?
At some point, this is going to end badly. You know, when everybody gets old at once.
2 bad months.
No, I'm not talking about Aaron Nola. I'm talking about the team. This doesn't last forever. It's impossible for them to. Dave Dombrowski's going to leave.
Yes.
Right? Like
he's going to go to the expansion.
They're going to keep paying the guys. Schwarber comes back. JT comes back.
Anti-Schwarber coming
back?
No,
I love Schwarber. But like
anti-JT coming back?
Here's my problem with it. And they're so pot committed right now. I mean, they almost have to bring him back. They don't have another alternative. When was the last difficult move the Phillies made? You know how it like the Eagles, and they sign everybody, but they also let Becton leave. Like you can't keep everybody on your team.
Yeah, but that's a 55-person roster with 22 starters. You got 8 starters on the Phillies.
The Phillies keep everybody. They don't let anybody walk.
Who would you have gotten rid of in the last 3 years?
Well, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is right now, well, Aaron Nola would have been the obvious answer. That's what starts this
if Aaron Nola was in the open market, he would have signed that contract with any number of teams.
I know, and I would have let him
for pitchers.
But I would have let him. The reason he's back is because they drafted him, and he's an important part to the franchise. That's an ownership signing.
He's a really good.
Nobody in their right mind would give him that money in those years.
This is a talk you need to have like at the end of the year. He had 2 bad months. Well, he didn't have 2 bad months. He had 3 really good starts before he twisted his ankle.
So my point is, JT's probably a guy you wouldn't want to bring back.
I would not want to bring back JT, and then you look at the landscape of catchers that are available, and there's nothing out there.
That's the problem.
But they got this guy, Tait. He's coming up, and he's like 3 years away.
He is... Well, okay.
So you got to sign JT for 3 years, unfortunately, because
or 2 or whatever the market bears.
Yeah, he's not going to sign for 2, but
probably not.
Yeah,
but Schwarber's going to get 4 or 5.
Yeah, you're fine with that, right?
Yeah, well, you have to sign. He's the best power hitter in baseball. One of the best power hitters in baseball. He's their best offensive player.
Yes.
No, he's unbelievable. I love it. So Rhys Hoskins.
Rhys Hoskins.
Someone says Rhys Hoskins was a difficult.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, but he had no place for him to play. The move was made for him. Bryce Harper's a first baseman.
He wasn't. He didn't know that.
He became a first baseman, and they have Kyle Schwarber. He probably still leaves, and that was difficult for him to leave. He had nowhere to play.
What about Trevor Hoffman?
Huh?
Trevor Hoffman.
Jeff Hoffman. Trevor Hoffman would have been tough. Jeff Hoffman. Jeff Hoffman's a pretty good answer. But they tried to sign him. He wouldn't take it, so they moved on. Well, Dombrowski said they offered similar money to what Toronto offered him, but at the time the agent's like, no, we want more money and more years.
Yeah, and there was rumors he wanted to start.
Right. So they signed. They said, okay, well, we're moving on. They signed Romano, who has looked good, by the way.
Yeah.
And
he's looked great the last 9 games.
He has. No, he's getting swings and misses. He's throwing the slider for strikes.
Not talking himself as much.
He looks really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, a couple of other things. Can you? Where do you go to the shore?
I am an AC guy. I love Atlantic City. It's such a treasure. It's one of the cheapest, greatest shore towns on the East Coast.
All right.
Yeah. There's so many good dive bars, old school. There's good food. It's a really diverse beach. It's free. I love AC. I don't even have to gamble. I go down there. I don't even really gamble.
Especially on the north side towards Ventnor. Am I going the right direction?
I don't know. I might be towards the south side. There used to be a Good Dog outlet there, the bar in town, but they closed. There's Johnny Baltimore's Pizza Grill. Great spot. The Irish Pub.
I used to turn at Baltimore's every time.
Have you been in there?
Ventnor south of AC.
Yeah. Ventnor south?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and then Brigantine's north?
Going up, it's Margate, Ventnor,
okay, all right,
AC.
Right. All right, there you go. Can you sing On the Way to Cape May? Do you know the lyrics?
I do. It's a little weird. Now, I just had this whole discussion at the bar the other night. We were going through how weird Al Alberts was. Because he sang that song.
Try explaining to somebody who has no idea who Al Alberts is, who Al Alberts and what he was.
Uncle Al with the little teeny bopper sitting on his lap telling him jokes. What the heck was that? That was the weirdest moment of TV because it was followed up by like Larry Ferrari, just wacko on an organ. And my grandparents loved just watching him play an organ.
I discussed Larry Ferrari this morning.
Did you?
To start the show.
Oh, I swear to God, I did not see
I
it
know,
at all.
but like we're in the same age range. So like was it Sunday morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have Al Albert
You have
showcase.
to wait for the Stooges to come on like 11. You have to sit through Al Albert and Larry Ferrari, and the Stooges would come on.
Well, Stooges was on Channel 29.
Yeah.
But yeah, on Channel 6, you had Larry Ferrari, which was like 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Maybe.
And then Larry Ferrari, and it's like, who is watching this other than our grandparents and me because
Like,
I'm
where did
with
he
the
come from? Whose
grandparents.
idea was it to put this guy on an organ with a candelabra for a half hour? He didn't even
Tyler,
sing. He didn't even
can you
sing.
find Larry Ferrari real fast? No,
Oh,
I
there's
know.
definitely out there because we played it at the bar the other night because young guys were like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, no, it's difficult to explain because like it was just that era of TV where like nothing made sense that they had on TV. Do you remember Gary? I think Gary Papa hosted it on Channel 6 at night. It was on Saturday nights after the news.
All right.
It's the prime time of my life.
Yes. What is that? What was the name of that show?
Do it. It was like a 30-minute magazine show.
All right.
where they
Vernon
would
Odom
do-
used to have like prisms in the morning.
No. Visions.
Visions. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah,
fellas, I
that's
think.
what we talk about sitting at the nursing home.
On the way to Cape May,
On the way to Cape
I
May.
fell in love with you.
Mm-hmm.
On the way to Cape May, I saw my dreams come true. I was taken by your smile as we drifted by Sea Isle. My heart was really gone when we reached Avalon on the way to Cape May.
Is that the proper way? You go Seattle Avalon down to Wildwood and
I guess on the way to Cape May.
it's Al Albert's in the what? His band was.
I don't even know. I just remember, I know that he did that, but I know it was the Al Alberts showcase. I don't remember his band or anything like that. Al Alberts. There's Larry Ferrari right there. Yep.
Yeah. Imagine having to watch. You can find a video of him. I know it's out there. Like,
No, it's an organ with no singing.
yeah,
That's
no
the whole
singing.
show.
They would have some kind of mood lighting.
Wait, he
going
just
on.
played. There was no vocals. He just
No,
played
he
the
just
organ.
played an organ
Just
for a
play an
half
organ,
hour.
man.
No, legitimately, he just played this organ.
Yeah, not even like a classic, like a Yamaha or Steinbeck way piano, an organ.
And there was no real explanation other than Larry Ferrari was on.
Yeah, I had no reference point of who this guy was.
All right. Who is the green grocer with your tip for the day?
Joe Carcione.
And he wasn't local, by the
Dude,
way.
my mind was blown when he wasn't from the Italian 9th Street Market.
I thought he was from the Italian market the whole time.
Yes.
No, he was syndicated all over the country,
Wild,
Joe Carcione.
yes.
Joe Carcione, Tyler, he would give you the grocery tip with the produce tip for the day. He's the old Italian guy that's like, and these grapes are delicious.
Yeah,
and he's telling you how to pick melons and stuff.
Yeah, how to pick a ripe melon and stuff. Yeah.
It's, right now, he'd be talking about because the weather's getting warmer. Like, this is a good time for strawberries, right?
Yeah. Yes. If you don't know him, you should also YouTube Joe Carcione. I'm Joe Carcione, a green grocer with the tip of the day.
The green
He's like,
grocer.
he's like out of Sopranos. It was Al Albert and the Four Aces.
Oh, they must have been dynamite.
Yeah.
Who's the Geeter? Must have been friends with Al Albert at some point.
I don't know. The Geeter was kind of cool. I don't think Al Alberts was that cool.
So the Geeter
ran with like Chuck Berry and
The Geeter
Frank
was much cool.
Sinatra.
No, you had insinuated Al Albert maybe with
I interviewed. I did a Philly podcast that won Best of Philly called the Philly Blunt. We interviewed the Geeter. He talked about Frank Sinatra and he mentioned it. And I said, "Well, what was Frank Sinatra like?" The Geeter, without missing a beat. I'll tell you one thing: he wouldn't hang out with the guys that likes of you.
I'm sure he saw a lot of stuff over his years. All right, what the last thing here? All right, so George Wendt died. A couple
Yeah,
days
big
ago.
loss. That show still holds up.
Dude, it's still on my DVR.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have regular cable. I watched it from beginning to end. I watched every episode over the course of a couple months recently in the last 6 months. And not only does it hold up, it is unbelievably funny, well written.
Yeah,
it is so good,
edgy
man.
topics.
Yep.
Like I remember there was because I recently went through it before he died and everything. Like gay guys were hanging out at the bar, and it was this whole the regulars were like so
They were gonna
upset.
leave. They were going to Gary's Old Time Tavern.
Yeah, it was edgy stuff back then, man. It was good.
Yeah, it
Greatest song ever, maybe. Jefferson's is good, but that Cheers, man.
Yeah.
You hear it, you're just like, oh, everyone wants to go someplace where everyone knows your name.
All right, NBC.
When it comes to show theme songs, I think working with you, John, for as long as I have now, you are a Golden Girls fan, correct?
Golden Girls is
That's
still
number
holds
one
up.
for you, right?
It's not number one,
It's a
but it's
solid one.
underrated.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I
It's-
mean in
it's-
terms of theme songs, that's got to be up there
Thank you
for
for
you,
being
right?
a friend. It would be considered.
Right.
Sure. Yep.
And
I figured that's where you would go with it.
Moving on up by Jefferson's, I'd put over Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like George Jefferson had a special place in my heart. I named my first goldfish George after George Jefferson.
It was such a good show. So fun.
Like Cheers is a better show. Yeah, Cheers is the better. Cheers is one of the best shows ever.
All right.
I watched it from, I was a younger kid, but like Woody comes in, very one-dimensional, Coach much better character, but Woody was still good. Frasier going on to do Frasier, but Dr. Frasier Crane, and like you hate Diane so much, and you just want to strangle her, and then she leaves.
She has her moments though.
But she was great. Yeah. But like that, her whole character was to hate her.
And Rhea's zingers.
Oh man, it was such
Carla's
a good show.
zingers were the best.
Such a real permanent. Oh, what a great show. All right, dude. Well, listen, what do you got coming up with Ant today?
It's Friday, so we probably have 37 guests. We'll be here till like 1 o'clock, probably
It's a Friday of Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. So we'll be here for a while.
Okay.
We mentioned an Oreo drink this week, and I stopped over to CVS to get a little power protein drink, and they had the Oreo flavored coffee drink. So I'm going to get Anthony to drink that today, and he's never had Pop Rocks. Vince got a bunch of Pop Rocks. I'm going to try and get Anthony to eat some Pop Rocks. Oh, before I get out of here, it's Memorial Day weekend. If you watch Anthony's show, you're going to hear this again from me today. Wear your sunscreen. I was diagnosed with melanoma in December. Had to get a massive surgery on my arm because I waited a little too long. So wear your sunscreen. If you get a little bug bite thing that doesn't go away, go see the dermatologist right away.
I've been to a dermatologist recently.
I have to go every 3 months now. Yeah.
Yeah, really. Oh, well, good for you, man. No, it's a good. It's because like
us pale folks.
Well, I mean, Jesus, listen. If you're going, you should wear it all the time when you go outside. But like, the people that go to the beach, that they're like, well, no, I don't need. Like, are you crazy? You're going to be in the sun for the next 3 or 4 hours.
And I waited too long. If I would have went right away, cut it out, no big deal. It got deep enough, so I had to get some lymph nodes removed and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. But it didn't spread, so I'm good. But wear your sunscreen.
Thank you for that, VG.
Yep.
All right, there he is. Violations right. Coming up, our BetParx Parlay of the day for better or for worse, and that's ahead. A lot more coming up here. Philly with John Marks. PHLY. Why? Empire today. Listen, if you are looking for flooring, not a better time than right now at Empire because they're going to bring the showroom right to you. That's right. You don't have to, on a Saturday, be like, all right, let's get the kids. Nope. They bring the showroom to you, and here's why that's a great idea. Because you're picking the right flooring and the right colors in your space. And this has happened to me before, where you go to a showroom, things are going to look a lot different under their lighting and in their showroom. You have your colors of walls. You have your room. You have your furniture, right? Don't you want it to look, or you know how it looks with your furniture? That's what they do for you. See how it looks with everything in your space. You're getting precise measurements. You can have all your questions answered. There are no surprises. And Empire Today, don't go to the big box store thinking you're going to save $1 or $2, and then you got to take all that stuff home, and then you got to find a contractor to put it in there. Empire Today takes care of everything for you. They live and breathe flooring. That's all they do. They're with you every step of the way. It's a whole different ball game. And right now, schedule a free in-home estimate. You're getting clear upfront and all-inclusive pricing, and you can schedule installation as soon as the next day. And PHLY listeners, you can receive a $350 discount. Use the promo code PHLY. Restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/PHLY for full details. empiretoday.com/PHLY for full details. All right, Ashley, the low prices are blooming. Spring into savings at Ashley. Save up to 50% off living rooms, bedrooms, and dining rooms and have it all delivered for free. Plus, get long-term, no-interest financing. Save on top brand mattresses and get free delivery, setup, and removal. But don't wait. Spring into savings now at Ashley, South Jersey, and Philadelphia. Financing with approved credit. Minimum purchase required. Some exclusions may apply. See store for complete details. Hurry to Ashley. Visit ashleyfurniture.com for more information. And PHLY is partnering with Ashley to host the Ashley Fan Cave Sweepstakes to give one lucky participant a chance to win a brand new Mod Max modular sectional to watch the next big game, plus an additional $1,000 Visa gift card to bring your dream fan cave to life. There you go. Hoo-ah, we're back. Well, Tyler, you know what Black Gritty and I did yesterday? We did Phillies money line and a Schwarber home run.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I caught up with you guys after Anthony's show was over.
Schwarber Schwarber was like minus 180. It was like something ridiculous where it's like, it seems almost like a lock. It'd be too easy to take him not to hit a home run. Of course, they only score 2 runs and he doesn't hit one. So we lost again. The night before, I had the Knicks money line. You had a pitcher that went over on strikeouts early in the day and it hit. And you texted me. I texted you later and I'm like, all we need to do is the Knicks to finish them off when we got the win. And they had an historic loss. I forget what the exact details were. But with the Knicks lead that they had with a certain amount of time left, teams were 994-0 since 1997.
You can't make that stuff up like that. You don't even like you don't. If you went to a script went to Hollywood with a script like that, they'd be like, nah, it's too corny, too cheesy. Come on, make it more realistic.
994-0.
Crazy.
Well, us 76ers for Knicks fans were very disappointed after that loss. So they'll jump back at it tonight. All right, well, let's do it. Our BetParx Parlay of the day. All right. What do you got, Zuli? Lead it off here. What do you got?
I'm going to go back to another strikeout prop today because this one seems low. So either I'm overlooking this or maybe not thinking enough about it, or Vegas just overlooked it. I'm going to go to the Pirates and the Brewers game today. Paul Skeens is on the mound for the Pirates. I can get Paul Skeens at over 5.5 strikeouts today at minus 180. Paul Skeens has gone over 5.5 strikeouts in every start he's made except one this year. His last, except 2 this year, excuse me. His last 3 starts, he has 9 against the Phillies, 6 against the Mets, 6 against the Cardinals. He's posted 6 or more in 8 of his 10 starts this season so far. 5.5 seems pretty low, especially facing a Brewers team who's about middle of the pack when it comes to strikeouts per game. They strike out just over 8 times per game. 5.5 seems really low to me. I'm going to take Paul Skeens over 5.5 strikeouts at minus 180. I'm not going to overthink this too much. If Vegas gets me, they get me, but that feels like a win.
All right. I'd be surprised if he didn't have over 5.5.
It just feels like it's too obvious.
So the GM comes out and says, because somehow all these trade rumors that aren't real rumors started with Skeens, and it's like, oh, well, what if this team offered this?
Right.
They're not trading Skeens right now. I mean, at some point they probably will because they'll screw it up. But it was just wild how all of a sudden, like, I'm getting friends and they'd be like, yo, did you hear the Pirates want to trade Skeens? Like, no, they don't. This is completely fabricated. Anyway, so I think he comes out and he's firing tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you saw. Now listen, like he made the Phillies look silly. He was so good in that game, and he lost the game 1-0. And the run he gets on his breaking balls, the run he gets on his 2 seams is crazy. His stuff is so filthy. He's going to command when he does get traded, because I think he will eventually.
Sure.
When he does get traded, it's not outside the realm of possibility to see at least, I don't know, 3 top 10 prospects in return.
Yeah, it just depends how many years he would have left.
Right. I mean, he's still under team control technically. Like he's pre-arbitration.
Yeah, I mean, he can't be a free agent until probably
it's like 2030.
2030. Yeah. I'll tell you right now. Yeah, like, I'm not telling you that he won't eventually be because at some point, don't the Pirates have to kind of be good? I mean, I guess not.
Not if you're not willing to spend any money.
No, I mean, I guess not, but you can't trade him right. You can't trade him right now. He doesn't even get arbitration until 2028.
Right. Which I guess that means free agents 2030 after the 2031
so 28,
season?
29, 30. So 31, he'd be a free agent.
Yeah.
2031.
You're talking about six plus years away.
Now, you can also say, okay, well, if you could build your entire team by trading Paul Skeens, would you do it? But anyway, it's just...
Like, you think about what did Crochet go for? And Skeens has more years of control. And quite frankly, as good as Crochet is, I think stuff-wise, Skeens is better.
Yeah, well, Crochet, I think, only had 2 years left or something. I don't know. But, hey, by the way, how about what the Phillies gave up for Luzardo and what Boston gave up for Crochet, which is well worth it because he's excellent.
For sure.
So they gave up top prospects. Yeah. Phillies gave up one of their top prospects that's very young. All right, so let's go on this. A.J. Brown. So where does A.J. Brown rank as a wide receiver in the NFL? PFF ranks him number 1 in their rankings. By the way, they also had Jalen Hurts as number 5, but they had him number 1 in the rankings. Here it is. A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, St. Brown, Nakua, CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins, who I'm a big fan of, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans. Man, Mike Evans at 9, still doing it. Terry McLaurin. All right, so it's difficult. See, I think it's difficult to fairly judge A.J. Brown because this isn't a big-time passing offense, and he's been perfectly fine with that. He has been, and I know he had said that the passing offense was a problem. He didn't call out his quarterback. He said the passing offense was the problem with their offense, and he was right. Like, the passing offense wasn't great. But, like, that's not because of him. He is a monster. But I certainly wouldn't have him as the top wide receiver in the NFL. But I also kind of struggle to know where he goes. So I'll just ask it this way, Tyler. Right now, if you're picking a wide receiver for your team going forward, where does he fall on that list?
So to me, he falls behind Justin Jefferson. He falls behind Jamar Chase. So those two guys are whoa, what just happened? Oh, there we go. Those two guys are 1 and 2, in my opinion. You can put them in either order. I lean Jefferson. I understand if you want to lean Chase. Either way, it's not that big a deal. That's where the conversation starts. Is he 3? I think he's somewhere in the 3 to 5 range because I think to me, it's him. I think it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know I'm a huge Amon-Ra St. Brown fan. And then I think the one guy who may be getting a little bit, I don't want to say disrespected, but was dropped a little bit in this list. No, actually, CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb is a top 5. Now he's at 6. It's not like it's a crazy fall. But I think your top 5 in an order is Chase and Jefferson 1 and 2 in whatever order you want to put. And then I would go in any particular order, Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown, and CeeDee Lamb. They're my 3.
Yes, Tyreek Hill's production dipped. He's a different wide receiver than a CeeDee Lamb and an A.J. Brown. I think it has more to do with the offense and the lack of quarterback play that they have down there. But yeah, I mean, honestly, Amon-Ra St. Brown he's really good. Puka Nacua, he's not in the conversation with CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown. I would agree with that. He's also he's nasty, man. He's got a mean streak to him. I love that about him. Malik Neighbors is your first real young wide receiver ranked here. Brian Thomas Jr., really, man, what a season he had last year. Rookie, Jesus. Man.
Especially with how poor the quarterback play was.
Dude,
they were playing Mac Jones for half the year. All right. And Trevor Lawrence wasn't good when he played.
Trevor Lawrence wasn't good, and he was playing with Mac Jones. All right, so where does Devontae Smith rank on this list, do you believe?
He's definitively top 20. Probably closer in the mid-teens rank. You know, like 14, 15. Maybe a little bit. Maybe that's a little underselling him. But I think he's in the early to mid portion of the 10 through 20 range.
All right, we'll tell you after. If you're watching on TV, get on over to allphly.com. It's time for overtime. According to PFF, Devontae Smith 17. 1 spot ahead of Chris Godwin, 2 spots ahead of Brandon Ayuk, and 1 spot behind Devontae Adams. I think Devontae Adams continues to slide. Jalen Waddle, 21. But once upon a time, didn't a lot of people look at Waddle as the better wide receiver than Devontae? And Devontae's had more success because he's been with the better team. But I still I think Jalen Waddle's a good wide receiver. Took a step back last year for sure. Ladd McConkey ahead of DK Metcalf. If Aaron Rodgers signs with Pittsburgh, which I've said all along, I think he's going to. I think DK Metcalf has a monster season in Pittsburgh. He's kind of come back downhill, but he is a physical monster. And I think that's because of the quarterback play in Seattle. All right, well, listen, everybody. Tyler, you doing anything for Memorial Day, or are you just hanging around?
Just hanging. Just going to enjoy the extra day off. Not a whole lot of plans this weekend. It's been a lot of late night baseball too. So obviously tonight we'll be covering the game. Probably not get to bed till about 1:30 in the morning. So I may just try to sleep in tomorrow if that's possible with a 6-month-old, but we'll give it our best shot.
It's possible. Live show today?
Yes, 1 o'clock. We're going to talk about, you brought up Luzardo. We're going to talk about Luzardo a little bit. The one thing I want to do a little bit more, because this past series was what we expected. They swept out a bad team, and they took care of business. Jason Stark and The Athletic dropped their quarter-century Major League team.
I saw this.
And so what we're going to do is drop our quarter-century Phillies team. Now, it's a lot of there's a lot of givens, right? Like the shortstop is a given and the second baseman's a given. But we're going to drop our quarter-century Phillies team today.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. Rico Brogna's not your first baseman. He wasn't in the sense.
You know, it was between him and Tommy Joseph.
Tojo. Oh God, Tojo was something else.
I'd love to do the all quarter-century worst team. I think that would be a more fun exercise because, like I said, like when you say, all right, 2000 to 2025 shortstop for the Phillies, like it's Jimmy Rollins. All
right, next week.
We should do it.
Next week. Why not? Oh, it's much more fun.
Worst Phillies roster we could put together.
All right. Yeah, you might just take one of Pete McCannon's teams and it might come close.
Yeah, 2016?
Woo!
2017, something like that?
It was rough. All right, everybody have a great, safe, be careful out there. Remember, they have Ubers and Lyfts now for a reason. Don't drink and drive, please. Don't kill yourself. Don't kill somebody else. All right, everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy Memorial Day. We'll be back next week. Anthony is live, local and late breaking right now. Check him out. See you.
We all silly like the mayor.